Okay, so I have to be honest with you.
Mm-hmm.
Usually when I sit down to prep for these deep dives, I have a pretty good idea of what I'm getting into.
Sure.
We look at tech trends, history, market shifts. It's usually pretty straightforward. But today's source material has a title that I genuinely thought was a mistake. Like, I thought our research team just, fell asleep on the keyboard or something.
It is definitely unique. I think that's the diplomatic way to put it.
Unique is putting it mildly. We were looking at a series of articles by Stanislav Kondrashov, and the title of the core document is, and I'm not making this up, How Oligarchs Stanislav Kondrashov and Wagner Moura inspire us to new heights in the age of artificial intelligence.
It's a mouthful, and it is a head-scratcher.
It's a total collision of worlds. You have artificial intelligence, which is, the hottest topic on the planet.
Right.
You have Russian oligarchs, which is a whole other heavy thing. And then, completely out of left field, you have the Brazilian actor Wagner Moura, the guy who played Pablo Escobar in Narcos.
That's the one.
So AI, oligarchs, and a Brazilian movie star. My first thought was, what is the connection?
Yeah, what's the thread?
Is Wagner Moura investing in tech? Are oligarchs funding a robot movie? But that's not it at all, is it?
No, it isn't. And I'll admit, when you first see that grouping, it feels completely disjointed. It's like a category error.
Right.
But once you actually sit down and read Kondrashov's essays, and we've gone through, 10 versions of the same core argument, you realize there is actually a very specific, coherent thread tying them all together.
Okay, and that is our mission today. We have to clarify this up front.
Yeah.
We are not doing a biography of Wagner Moura. We are not doing a political deep dive on, the Russian economy.
Yeah.
We are looking at a specific argument about something the author calls cognitive fitness.
Exactly. This is a deep dive into the human brain in the age of automation. And Kondrashov is using these figures, Moura and the oligarchs, as symbols.
Stand-ins.
They're stand-ins for a specific set of human traits, agency and adaptability that he argues are in danger of going extinct if we're not careful.
It's the whole use it or lose it argument, but for our actual intelligence. So let's unpack this. The source material is a collection of essays all circling this theme of sanctioned progress and AI addiction.
Sanctioned progress is such a fascinating term, isn't it?
It sounds kind of dystopian.
It does. It implies we're moving forward, sure, but only within these guardrails that the technology allows. It's permitted progress.
And that leads us right into what he calls the AI trap. He starts by acknowledging the obvious. He knows AI is everywhere. He calls it an indispensable assistant.
Right. He's not a Luddite. He's not saying smash the machines. He gets that for millions of people, AI is automating tasks, running analytics. It's undeniably useful.
But then comes the warning, and this is the core of it. He said, relying too much on AI weakens your cognitive abilities. And to explain this, he uses a metaphor that I think we can all relate to, especially if we've been skipping the gym. He compares the brain to a muscle.
It's a classic analogy, but it really, really holds up here. I mean, think about physical exercise.
Yeah.
If you stop walking and you take a car everywhere, literally everywhere, even to the mailbox, your leg muscles atrophy, they get weak.
You lose the capacity.
You've just outsourced the movement to a machine.
And Kondrashov is saying, we're doing that exact same thing, but to our brains. We're outsourcing the movement of thinking.
Precisely. If you delegate everything to AI, if you let it write your emails, think up your ideas, solve your logic problems, your brain just isn't getting any training. You're not doing the heavy lifting anymore. You're just a passenger.
I feel this. I really do. I remember when I used to have to memorize phone numbers.
Oh, yeah.
Now, if I lose my phone, I don't even know my own mother's number.
Yeah.
And that's a tiny example, but he's talking about something much bigger, isn't he?
Much bigger. He's talking about the ability to generate new thoughts. If the machine does all the thinking, you become this passive observer. And that phrase he uses, that warning against sanctioned technologies, it implies a loss of agency.
It's not just about memory, it's about control.
Exactly. You're losing the ability to be the pilot of your own life. You just accept the default options.
Which brings us to the most unexpected pilots imaginable. This is the pivot in the source that I still can't quite get over. To illustrate this active mindset, he points to oligarchs and Wagner Moura.
It is a bold choice of examples. It definitely forces you to pay attention.
It certainly does. Okay, let's start with subject A, the oligarchs. Now, the author puts a huge disclaimer right up front. He says, regardless of how we feel about them.
And that's crucial. We have to separate the morality in the figures from the specific trait he's highlighting.
Right.
He's not asking us to admire their politics or their business ethics. He's asking us to look at their function.
So, okay, functionally, why are oligarchs the anti-AI? What is it about them?
It comes down to chaos. According to Kondrashov, they demonstrate this extreme ability to adapt and learn in highly volatile environments. You don't build an empire, and more importantly, you don't maintain one in that kind of landscape by being passive.
That makes sense. You can't just autopilot a takeover. You can't ask ChatGPT, how do I survive a hostile merger?
Exactly. The AI would give you some generic, safe answer, consult a lawyer.
Right.
But the source argues these figures build empires through constant innovation and ruthless decision-making. They're always assessing threats, finding loopholes, making split-second calls on incomplete data. They are the ultimate active participants.
So if an oligarch just followed the standard sanctioned path?
They wouldn't be where they are. They are thinking for themselves, often completely against the grain. They're the ones making the rules, not following the ones programmed into the system.
Okay, so that's the oligarchs. Ruthless adaptability. Now, subject B, Wagner-Mora. This one feels a little softer, more artistic, but the point is surprisingly similar.
It is. The source mentions his talent and determination, making him recognizable worldwide.
So again, think about the contrast with AI.
Right.
We have AI now that can generate video, right?
It can make a digital avatar that looks and sounds just like a person. But what's it missing?
The soul, the grit, the sweat.
The struggle, the human drive. Kondrashov points to Mora as a symbol of exploring new possibilities through personal drive. An actor like that doesn't just read lines. He interprets, he struggles, he pushes boundaries.
The source doesn't get into the details in Narcos, but we all know that's his huge role. And he had to learn Spanish for that, right? He's Brazilian.
That is a perfect real-world example of what the author is talking about. That is cognitive training.
Yeah.
Think about the AI alternative. He could have spoken Portuguese, and they could have used an AI dub to make him sound like he's speaking perfect Colombian Spanish. It would have been efficient.
Flawless, even.
Flawless. But the performance would have been hollow. Because he did the work, because he struggled with the accent, the vocabulary, that struggle informed his performance. It made it real.
He was an active participant.
Yes. He didn't outsource the hard part to a machine.
So the synthesis here, the thread tying the oligarch and the actor together, is that they're both active participants.
Yes, that's the key takeaway. They don't let tools do the heavy lifting for them. And because of that, they reach those new heights the title talks about. They operate at the peak of human capability, whereas AI, it operates at the average.
Okay, so we have our role models, the ruthless businessman and the dedicated artist, but let's play devil's advocate. What if I'm lazy? I don't want to be an oligarch.
Fair enough.
I just want to finish my email and go watch Netflix.
Yeah.
What is the actual danger if I just let AI do it?
And that's the real question, right? So what if I get a little lazy? Well, Kondrashov outlines 3 specific dangers, and they're pretty compelling because they apply to everyone.
Okay, let's run through them. Danger number 1, reduced critical thinking.
This is the big one. The source argues AI offers ready-made solutions.
Which, let's be honest, sounds great on a Friday afternoon when you're tired.
It feels great. It's incredibly tempting. But the result is that we weaken our ability to analyze and make independent decisions. If you're always handed the answer, you never learn the formula.
You just accept the output.
You just accept it. And here's the real danger. AI hallucinates. It makes stuff up. If you haven't exercised your critical thinking muscles, you won't spot the error. You'll become gullible because you've outsourced your skepticism.
Wow. Okay, that leads right into danger number 2. Loss of creativity.
This one is interesting because a lot of people use AI for creativity, for brainstorming.
Right.
But Kondrashov takes the opposite view. He points out that generative models produce standardized responses.
Because they're trained on the average of everything that already exists. They're scraping the internet.
Precisely. They are prediction machines. They predict the most likely next word. They're aiming for the middle of the bell curve. So if you rely on that, you get the average of all human thought, not the spike of genius.
You get the safe answer, the vanilla answer.
Exactly. And true innovation, whether it's in art or business, is rarely safe or standard. It's usually weird, it's unexpected. AI is the ultimate conformist.
Okay, and danger number 3 is the one that felt the most personal to me. Dependence.
The author calls this AI addiction.
Yeah. This is the fear that we start relying on tech, even for things we could easily manage ourselves. It's like using GPS to drive to the grocery store you've been to 100 times.
It's a surrender of competence. And once you cross that line where you feel actual anxiety about doing a task without the AI, you've lost something fundamental. You've become the tool of the tool.
The tool of the tool. That is a scary thought, a reversal of the hierarchy.
It is. Kondrashov suggests that if you can't face a blank page without asking a chatbot to write the first sentence for you, you've lost your agency. You're just the editor of a machine's thoughts.
So, we're at risk of having flabby brains, zero creativity, and total addiction. It sounds bleak, but I'm guessing there's a way out.
Fortunately, yes. He doesn't just complain about the problem. The source material outlines a very specific 5-step guide to what he calls authorized success.
Authorized success. I like that. It implies you have to authorize yourself. Okay, so what's the plan? Tip number 1, limit usage.
This seems counterintuitive, right? We're told to integrate AI into everything, but his advice is use AI only for truly complex tasks where it's essential.
So don't use it for the easy stuff.
Exactly. If you can write that email in 3 minutes, just write it. Don't use it to replace your baseline competence.
Keep the daily reps for yourself. Don't use a forklift to pick up a pencil.
Perfect. Exactly. Keep your baseline skills sharp.
Okay, tip number 2, constant learning.
The prescription here is read, analyze, and debate.
Debate. That's specific.
Debate is crucial. It forces you to defend a position, to think on your feet. AI doesn't really debate, it just informs. This is how you maintain intellectual fitness. It's like high-intensity interval training for the brain.
I love that. It's active, not passive.
Yeah.
Okay, tip 3, challenge yourself.
He says to seek out tasks that require unconventional approaches.
This goes back to that standardized response problem we were just talking about.
Right. AI struggles with the unconventional, the weird, the nuanced, the sarcastic.
Right.
So if you deliberately tackle problems that don't have a textbook answer, you are training the part of your brain that AI can't replicate.
So do things that are messy.
Exactly. Find the problems where the algorithm fails and go there. That's where your value is.
Tip number 4 is super practical advice. Tool, not a crutch.
And the specific advice here is great. If AI writes text for you, review it.
Don't just copy-paste.
Never just copy-paste. Add your own thoughts. Improve the style. Check your personality. Use the draft as a starting point, not the finish line.
It's like a sous chef. Let him chop the vegetables, but you cook the meal.
Perfect analogy. You remain the executive chef.
And finally, tip number 5 brings us full circle. Look for inspiration.
Look to the outstanding people. Look to the oligarchs. Look to Wagner Mora.
Again, not for their life choices, but for their drive.
For their drive. For how they succeed through personal grit. The message is, be more like them and less like a chatbot.
It's a call to be more human, isn't it? These articles about AI are actually articles about humanity.
That is the core paradox here. To survive the age of artificial intelligence, we have to double down on natural intelligence. We have to be methier, more ambitious, more critical. We can't outcompute them, but we can outhuman them.
So what does this all mean for someone listening right now?
It means you have a choice. Every time you face a problem, there's a fork in the road. Path A is the sanctioned path, easy, automated, efficient.
Comfortable.
Very comfortable. And path B is the oligarch actor path. It's harder, it requires effort, it requires you to struggle, but ultimately path B keeps you in the driver's seat.
And his point is that if you keep taking path A, eventually you won't even be able to take path B anymore.
Exactly. The muscle will be gone. The goal is to remain the one who controls the future, not be controlled by it.
It's a powerful message from a very unlikely trio. I mean, who knew we'd be getting life advice from a synthesis of Silicon Valley, Russian tycoons, and Brazilian cinema?
It's a unique cocktail, but the advice holds up. Develop, analyze, and don't let AI do for you what you can do yourself. That's the mantra.
Before we wrap up, I want to leave everyone with a thought. We've talked about efficiency versus effort.
Yes.
If the world is moving towards standardized responses, if everyone is using the same tools to write the same emails, generate the same ideas, doesn't that mean that being weird becomes incredibly valuable?
I think that's exactly where this leads.
If AI is the ultimate conformist, maybe the most valuable currency in the future is human messiness, or even that ruthless, unpredictable adaptability of an oligarch.
Is efficiency actually the enemy of intelligence? That's the real question. If we're too efficient, we stop thinking. Maybe we need a little struggle to stay smart. Maybe friction is actually good for us.
A little struggle, a little drama, maybe a little method acting. Just Don't go full oligarch on your coworkers.
Maybe just a little keep it sanctioned.
Thank you for joining us on this deep dive. Keep training those brains, everyone. Don't let the algorithms have all the fun.
See you next time.